Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Bandwidth for iPad today is provided by Cachefly at CACHEFLY.com.
Coming up, we have news apps coming out of our ears. Stop the insanity.
Plus, Square goes hands-free. They've got self-checkout at the Apple stores, and we've got some newsstand tips.
All that and an $8 million iPad. It's made of dinosaur bones on iPad today.
iPad Today is brought to you by GoToMyPC. Don't let life's unpredictable moments decrease your productivity. Visit GoToMyPC.com for your free 30-day trial. Use the promo code iPad. And by Ford, featuring voice-activated Sync App Link. Now you can control select smartphone apps with your voice, so you keep your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road. Check it out on the 2012 Ford Fiesta and at Ford.com/technology. And by Netflix. Watch thousands of TV episodes and movies on your PC, Mac, iPad, iPhone, or TV instantly. All streamed directly to you, saving you time, money, and hassle. For your free 30-day trial, go to Netflix.com/TWiT. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to iPad Today.
To a very somber edition of iPad Today, focusing on top news.
If this show were a PBS program,
right,
we'd talk like this, wouldn't we, Sarah Lane?
Yes. I'd be Terry Gross and I'd say, so, when you wrote your book,
yes,
were you
spit it out, spit it out, spit it out.
I love fresh air, but sometimes I'm like, Terry say
thinks
the
a
question.
Lot. She's thinking.
She's thinking.
She's thinking.
I wonder what she is thinking about.
That's what makes her such a great interviewer. She thinks before she asks.
Well, that's something I hope to achieve one day.
Never have done that in my life.
No. So we're actually talking about news apps. We've talked about news apps ad nauseum on the show before, but they keep
don't
coming
say
out.
Ad nauseum.
Well,
surely we're not making people sick with this.
What I mean is that we've always talked about news apps because there are always news apps coming out.
There's always news.
This just happens to be a really big week for a bunch of new stuff.
And the iPad really is a great platform for that, I think.
Absolutely.
It's how we were talking the other day on Mac Break Weekly about how, or no, I guess it was on This Week in Google, because Google Reader's changed, about how we get our news. And I realized that my favorite way to get news nowadays is to have my iPad at my morning meal. Some call it breakfast.
Yes.
And I will then go through a few apps, and we're going to show you some of those, to see what's new and different. And I showed you that Flipboard trick I used to bookmark stuff, and I'd use that on all these apps. So I can go through articles, catch up on the news, and it's just a very pleasant, it's taken the place for me of reading the newspaper at breakfast.
Absolutely. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, because especially even if I wanted to use my laptop, it's kind of cumbersome, and I want my food in front of me and the iPad to the side, and it's great. Yeah. Such an easy way to catch up on stuff. The first app that went live, I think it was just over a week ago, but we didn't talk about it last week because
we were
whatever we were doing, it wasn't news.
We were drunk.
Is Bloomberg TV Plus. Have you checked out this app before? Because it's one of the best made TV.
We talked about the Wall Street Journal television, and we were kind of disappointed with the quality of the product.
Well, they were obviously going out of their way to be like, we're just the editors behind the scenes, sitting down and shooting the breeze.
This is a little more polished.
Very much so. I mean, this is, for the most part, everything that you would see on Bloomberg TV. You can either watch what's live right now, or you can watch stuff on demand.
Mostly financial news, though, right? I mean, where this is financial. This is for people investing and that kind of thing.
It's very financial. Business. I mean, Bloomberg West is actually a cool show where a lot of people that I know end up on there talking about their startups or VC people, that sort of thing. It's a good show. But yeah, they've got Charlie Rose. They actually have, this is kind of funny. They ran it looks like a 6-parter series where entrepreneurs battled it out in New York City for millions of dollars.
That's like
where was I? Yeah.
Techstars is one of those incubator.
But I didn't realize they made it like a little reality show about it. Kind of, yeah.
Something I've
it's
wanted
actually
to
a really good idea.
from day one.
So if I went to Bloomberg West, for example, and I wanted to read about Group on Demand and Facebook privacy type of a thing.
Groupon's going public tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes ahead, it loads after a commercial. But what they also have over on the right-hand side is people that are mentioned in the episode. So let's say that I'm like, ooh, Jeff Gaspin, I don't, I'm not familiar with him. Oh, he's former chairman, TV entertainment at NBC Universal. Okay, that's interesting. So then I could hop over to that part in the video.
So you could watch full screen, but really you probably don't want to, because you want this interface that lets you kind of dig deeper into it and interact with it. I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Very building.
Yeah, it's if the content appeals to you, then this app makes a ton of sense. Now, besides just the videos that you could watch.
This is the future of television, and we're going to see this very quickly in the next few years, where what would normally be a cable channel like Bloomberg TV goes to the iPad, delivers content in a much more usable, much more accessible, valuable way. Why wouldn't you watch that instead of watching it on your television set?
Exactly.
It's just so much better.
You can, if you're just...
We've got to do this, frankly. We've got to write an app like this.
This could be such a great model for TWiT, actually, because we've got live, we've got our on-demand shows, we've got blog posts that we could feature. They've got stuff featured, or you can go just to the last 24 hours. What are the big stories? You can add things to your playlist if there's
I would love to do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's real. We should figure out who made their app. What's also nice is that down in the bottom, you might notice that all I've got scrolling here on my ticker is Pandora, Apple, and Netflix. That's just because you can create your own custom ticker.
It's a stock ticker, yeah.
Yeah, so if you go to the settings area, whoops, no, that's not it. Different settings area. How do I do that? Oh, I know. It's this settings area. They've got their own ticker settings. So I could turn on top news. So that includes a lot of other stuff. Global indices, Europe and Asia. I mean, so you could, if you're one of those people who loves to read stock tickers, you can get crazy, or you can just follow companies that you actually have a personal investment in. By the way, I don't have an investment in any of those companies, but if I did, just wanted to show you how you can customize it. There's also a nice little live button, so you can go straight to what's live. Yeah, it's a good app.
Bloomberg's goal is to make it sticky. So the more they can make it something you don't ever want to leave, the better, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They did a good job, and it's free, and you're watching TV. I mean, for a cord cutter like myself, something like this is better really than having the TV channel
for everybody. And now that Google TV is going to have Android apps on your big screen TV, I'm sure Apple TV will soon have apps on your big screen TV. This is the future. I think this is absolutely how television. I've been thinking of it as micro channels. This is how television is going to be. And we've been pioneering all this all along. I think we really ought to do it. It's a matter of cost and energy. But I would love to do this. Let me show you what 60 Minutes has done. This is an update. We've showed this app before. 60 Minutes has updated their app to also include classic 60 Minute segments. This is $5. And I think well worth it if you're a fan of this kind of television journalism. So on the app, they have This Week on 60 Minutes, which is segments that were on the previous Sunday. They have previous segments, 60 Minutes Overtime, which is stuff that never aired. I'll tell you one reason you might want to get it right now is the Steve Jobs piece that they did a couple of weeks ago is available on here. And fantastic. And again, much like the Bloomberg, you can watch the video and then drill down into bits of it and additional stories and so forth. So we can go full screen. So if you want the pure TV experience, same as the Bloomberg app, you can do that.
And you could AirPlay this to your TV.
Oh, yes. You notice there was an AirPlay logo right there. So we absolutely can send this right out to our Apple TV. But you see, here's extras from the web. Walter Isaacson, the author, talking about his secret liver transplant. Whoops. As often is the case, and this is one reason people maybe don't want to migrate from their TV just yet.
Right, because their TVs don't usually shut down.
It was a crash. But, iPad crashes aren't as bad as, say, a blue screen of death. You just relaunch the app.
Sometimes it even launches where you left off.
Yeah. 60 Minutes Overtime is just for the web. It's web-only information. I mean, I think that they've just done a really fantastic job here. If you like TV news, this is, of course, one of the premier brands in TV news. I think this is great. They've really shown that they can go to a tablet application And not, by the way, notice not a lot of advertising. Doesn't mean that they won't start having advertising in here. But for right now, it seems to be ad-free, $5 and an ad-free app.
Well, there you go. I mean, that sort of justifies the price right there, because ads make people
Well, that's never stopped anybody
so angry.
before.
Well, but at least it gets people on board. I do believe that 60 Minutes almost treats their apps like seasons, where this is the new season.
This is the new season,
So then when there is a new season next year...
Refresh it every year.
Then the content gets refreshed. And I was looking in the App Store and I read some reviews of people saying, wait a second, this just replaced my old app and now it's new content and I can't go back and watch certain episodes. So that's something to consider. But if
they
you
do
get
have
through
archives.
everything...
They do have archives, but you're right. If you've gotten used to the idea of...
that it's just going to keep growing.
Right.
It's not going to.
Yeah, it's not going to.
But that also keeps it in check, or else your app would be huge.
Look at these archives. In fact, this is new in the in this edition, 60 Minutes Classics. So if you're a Jon Stewart fan, that was a great interview. You can watch it again. I think this is everything that a television app should be, along with the Bloomberg. I think we're really seeing a breakthrough here.
I didn't see that Jon Stewart interview. I should watch it.
Exactly. I think there's going to be a ton of stuff like that you never saw.
So Engadget did something interesting. I mean, I guess you could say it was AOL who built it, but we obviously know Engadget, tech blog, very popular, gadget blog. They have something that they've put out called Engadget Distro. And what it is, it's a collection of, it's not a carbon copy of the web experience. It's their attempt to put together something a little bit more Wired magazine style.
This is interesting.
With some of their bigger stories. So not, live bloggy stuff or anything like that. I'll just go ahead and open, let's go back.
We are really seeing a reinvention of media thanks to the iPad.
Seriously.
This is really interesting.
So this is the cover of a couple episodes ago, and the big story was Android invasion. So you go, okay, that's cool. All right, well, here's a welcome from the editor. Actually, he comes on TNT all the time. And then you've got an ad here for Editions, which is another AOL app. And then you've got the nice table of contents. So you can say, okay, let's read what Tim Stevens had to say. They actually did a special on Tom Merritt, Growing Up Geek, so I could click into that and read his story. And as you can see, they've got the little arrows here that help guide you, do you want to go down, you want to go this way or that way. This is the next story about the Motorola Droid Razr, this sort of thing. So it's a really nice magazine style type of app, and I think that AOL and certainly Engadget is just trying this out, seeing what sticks. By the way, this stuff is all free because it's content that you would have gotten online anyway.
Well, and you see the ads, so
you see the ads, exactly. But I like it. I really like, and a lot of these magazine apps where you go, oh, okay, well, they're not uploading in refreshing in real time. Right. That's the problem that people have with AOL Editions, frankly. That doesn't bother me with this because I'm already reading Engadget when I'm researching stories for some of our news shows or for this show. To have the Engadget Distro version, it's like something that I get to when I've got a little bit more time. I'm on an airplane. I read a couple of editions. It's good stuff, and of course it's free. So Engadget.com/downloads/distro, or of course you can find it in the App Store. So, have you been playing around with Yahoo Livestand at all?
No.
Well, all right.
I'm not. I have to say, I'm not a fan of Yahoo anymore.
Yeah. So you just don't.
To me, they're like AOL. I've ignored both platforms. I shouldn't, because both have great content. But the brand is tarnished for me.
With AOL, there are certain properties that I like.
I agree. Engadget's a great property. TechCrunch is a great property. Yahoo has fantastic properties.
Flickr.
Yeah. Flickr.
We were talking about this the other day. It's like, okay, well, what would you save from Yahoo if they were going to break it up? It's like there's Flickr, there's...
OMG, if you like gossip.
That's true. That's a very big site. You're the one who told me about that. Yahoo Sports is obviously very popular for
Finance,
people.
I still like Yahoo Finance, although Google Finance has kind of preempted that for me.
Well, okay, so
what is Livestand?
Whether or not let's just say you have no issue with Yahoo and you're ready to try out anything that they'll do.
No, and I freely admit that this is a prejudice of mine.
Yeah.
Not legitimate.
Right. You're just
something
just
about
over
it. The brand
you're over Yahoo.
It died for me. Yeah.
Well, Yahoo is.
Really I know I'm not alone.
In a lot of turmoil right now. No one really knows what to make of it. Okay, so let's say that we're going to try out Livestand for the first time. So I've already I've already tried this out. I've signed. You can have multiple user accounts, so that's actually my Facebook account that I logged in with. So that's my Facebook picture. Here's the problem I have with Yahoo, and this is why I haven't even bothered hanging out with it very often. So on the top here, this is my library. So these are, you would think, sections of news. As you can see, they've got Yahoo Sports, Money, Surfer Mag, Forbes, Scientific American, for example. So I go like, oh, I love Scientific American. I would never want to load up the app and always just do this. I want to pan it up at the top. Okay, so I go into Scientific American. Okay, cool. All right, so there's a bunch of stuff to read. I can scroll through some things, scroll through some content. Okay, so how do I pin it? I'll go ahead and click my little wheel here. No, that's
too much
profile
work.
thing.
I'm
Never
bored.
mind.
I don't.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, well, what about
this hard.
this? No, now I'm just back at the front page. Maybe if I edit, maybe if I press edit. No, that just makes me able to delete something.
I'm sorry, your time is up.
That's my problem. It's like, listen, and I actually don't really like these. You know, like, why are these all?
I don't like how it looks. It looks
side?
it's jumbled. It's jumbled.
I think it looks very childish.
Yeah.
But let's say you didn't have a problem with the design. I cannot navigate this. I mean, I play with a lot of apps for a living. It shouldn't be this hard.
No.
I can't figure it out. So how is Yahoo possibly ever going to compete in the space where they don't have a product that I know how to use? And there's no good, easy how-to tips, which almost all apps always have when you open them for the first time.
It's very, very interesting. And you could just see immediately when you look at the 60 Minutes, the Bloomberg, well-designed apps that get you where you want to go, that makes it straightforward. And remember, the whole idea of the iPad was you didn't need a manual. You could sit down and use it. And then you get an app that is just poorly designed and not intuitive.
Right.
And that's a problem, I think.
It's weird because I went online and I read some reviews from people who say, oh, Livestand, it's really nice. You know, it's just a question of whether Yahoo can compete or not. And I'm like, what is so great about it? It doesn't make much sense, actually. The stuff, it looks fine, but it just doesn't make enough sense.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, if you cannot intuitively use it, I don't think it's an app that we have.
Yeah. So there you go. That's Livestand. It's free.
I'm going to show you an app that you don't have to do any customization for, that just comes out of the box. Now, we've shown this before. In fact, I think it was an app cap of mine. It's called SkyGrid. And it is, it's in competition with Flipboard, Every, Zeit, all of these. If you fire it up just out of the box, now a couple of things to point out. The new SkyGrid, this whole row is an ad. So they've got a lot of ads in it, but it is a free app. They've got, this is what's hot. And, of course, if you click the little tab here, you can see more things that you can add. But
Javier Bardem's going to play the villain in the new 007.
Isn't that exciting?
Kind of.
Roger Craig, I want to say Roger Craig. Daniel Craig is back, things like that. I have a section that I can follow, and then there are, you could say, these are the, you don't have to customize it. This is the science and tech section. Again, big ads here, but I think quite nicely done. Now, remember, this is a big story. In fact, we're going to cover it a little later on, iPhone 4S and iPad battery issues. So here's the story. Again, ad down here. View more will take us to the page. It has up above over here all the kind of expected sharing features, Twitter, Facebook, email. Makes it very easy to share it. This little thought bubble lets you create a message in iMessenger, which is kind of interesting, a text message.
So is it pulling from RSS feeds?
I don't know.
Websites?
You don't sign up for your RSS feed. You just pick. So I'm in following right now. This is where I would pick what I'm following. Well, basically, what it is it's a much simplified Flipboard, Every, Zeit. For people who don't want to spend a lot of time customizing, you don't need to do this, but these are all the categories. So if you're interested in world news, these are all the things you can follow. So you know what? It probably is an RSS reader at its root, but you don't know it, and you don't need to know it. And you just say, no, I want to know what Mac Rumors is saying, so you press the follow button, and that gets added to your following, your interests section. Not as pretty, but the point is very straightforward. You don't have to think about it. It comes pre-populated with kind of the stuff that most people would be interested in, including geek stuff, sports stuff, Hollywood stuff. I think they've actually done a very nice job, and it's pretty, you know. So this is for people, you know, Flipboard. Everybody gets all the attention because it's so beautiful. This, I would say, is for people who are not really that interested in Flipboard. They just want big buttons with stories that they're interested in.
Well, also, so I downloaded this morning, and I decided to follow just, a couple of silly topics, and the notifications are really nice. I mean, I see that I've got new notifications on stories that I'm following, like Kim Kardashian, where is she now? That sort of stuff. But let's say you wanted to follow a very specific story or person.
You can do
SkyGrid
that.
is really good with that, because it's pulling just little AP wire stuff.
Their claim to fame in the original SkyGrid was this kind of artificial intelligence that would notice what you read and automatically kind of give you top stories. They've gotten away from that to a bigger kind of a grid thing here. It's just something to look at. It's free. I like it. The only thing I don't like is the ads are fairly big, but it's Flipbook-like. It's kind of Flipbook Lite is what it was. What it really is. Flipboard Lite. Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of Flipboard.
Yeah.
So you have, especially since Flipboard is all RSS. That if SkyGrid works a little differently, maybe there's room for both.
Flipboard's tied to Twitter. So Flipboard builds its things from Twitter feeds, which is in some ways a better thing than an RSS feed. This is there must be some editorial judgment in here, because it's basically you're saying I'm going to follow these things, and it kind of looks for Kim Kardashian stories, for instance, at a variety of sources. Just another one to look at. We can go on and on. There's PBS does, I think, a very nice job. We've talked about that before. Yeah. CNN, NPR has a nice one. The Guardian. Almost everybody now realizes this is the future. And you better have a presence here. And I don't think it goes in the newsstand. I think it goes in an app. I think you're better off that way.
Yeah, it's interesting how some of these I would like to show up in my newsstand because they're magazine-like, but no, they don't. Apple still has to figure that out. But anyway, those are some news apps. That's some of the big stuff happening this week.
I didn't mention one.
What?
Rock Center. This is the new show on MSNBC. Brian Williams' new show has an app, and I think this is they're trying to do the 60 Minutes thing. The problem with Rock Center is it's brand new, so it's very little content.
Is Rock Center like 30 Rock? Is that what
it's
Rock Center
going to be there
means?
2020 or 60
But
Minutes.
is that what they're like, because they're in the 30 Rockefeller Center
Rockefeller
building?
Center, get it? Yeah, and Brian Williams is in Studio 3B. And so this is an NBC News show that they hope to compete with 60 Minutes.
I love Brian Williams.
I do too, and
doesn't?
frankly, the Jon Stewart interview he just did is quite good. So
years from now, when
you see, very similar idea. It's a very relaxed kind of a new news show. They've been promoting it like crazy. Just another one.
I feel like I'm so out of the loop because I don't watch enough TV anymore.
You've cut the cord, but you know what?
But now I can watch this.
Guess what? You can watch.
I just watch the stuff I want to watch.
You don't have to have.
I know.
Cable anymore.
Right.
I don't think.
I certainly don't. I watch a lot less junk.
We got to move on, I think. We're going to have a little later on. I think this is very exciting. Remember Geraldo Rivera?
Yes.
And Al Capone's safe?
Yes.
And they made a big deal, and they promoted it like crazy, and they opened it, and there was like nothing in there but like a shoelace.
Right.
We've got a safe.
We've got a safe that may or may not contain a dead person. We don't know.
Could have anything in it.
Could be anything.
It just arrived.
Live chickens.
It arrived yesterday via courier.
I saw you take an Instagram photo, so that'll be fun.
We'll be opening that at the end of the show.
I really hope nothing's dead in there.
That'll be anything.
You don't want to go anywhere.
Never been opened. We're going to do it on live
We're going to
TV.
find Al Capone in just 30 minutes.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Yes.
If Al Capone were in it and like Geraldo just missed it?
Oh, a real like barrel laughter. Belly aching. Look, it's Al Capone. Okay, so for all the links that we mentioned, don't worry if you missed anything. All of our show notes will be on our website, twit.tv/IPT. And if you're not watching live, we always encourage you to come watch us live because you can chat with us live and see our before and after funny moments. They're not really very funny, but we do shoot our setup and everything. 1:30 p.m. Pacific. 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursdays.
By the way, Siri is down right now. There's a big Siri outage going on.
Siri outage?
Nationwide, yeah.
Oh, so sorry, Siri.
I love Siri, but that is one little minor issue. You can't count on her.
Yeah.
Sometimes
she's in the cloud.
She goes away.
Sometimes the clouds
You know what you
cry.
can? You know what you can count on?
What?
Go to my PC. What a great way to share your computer as you travel around. And you don't want to access, you don't want to bring a laptop. You want to be able to access the office computer, and you can do it on an iPad, which is so sweet. There's times you just can't come to the office. Lisa, our CEO, is not here. She lost her voice. Guess what she's doing? She's using Go to My PC to access her computer.
Oh, that's
on her desk.
Makes perfect
sense. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Go to mypc.com. You could try it free for 30 days. All you have to do is use the offer code iPad. Works on the Mac or the PC, and they have, yes, an iPad app that's absolutely free. So you can get to your PC. You can send and receive email, access any network resource, run any program. You can be running a Microsoft Office program on your iPad through your PC. And you know what? It's secure, too. So even if you're an open access spot, you're at a Starbucks and you're doing this, you have a secure way to surf out of the Starbucks and access all of these resources. It's just fantastic. Go to mypc.com. See that big orange try it free button? Click that and use the offer code iPad. And then make sure you go to the App Store and get the new Go to My PC app for the iPad, because it really is slick. We thank the folks at Citrix. They make great products, and they're a great supporter of iPad today.
Absolument.
News time.
News time. So you mentioned iOS 5 battery issues.
And Apple finally admitted it yesterday.
Apple says, okay, it's true. There's a bug.
Have you had a problem? Because I have had not a single problem on my iPad.
Me either. But I know Ryan Block said he went to bed, his iPad was at 100%. He woke up and it was at 10. And I mean, you know what, he slept for even if he slept a really long time, it's like that's unheard of.
No, it goes 10 hours, and if you're not using it, if he's not on, you shouldn't go. It shouldn't go at all.
No, I mean it pretty much stays as it was. So,
and the problem is it doesn't. It's not consistent.
Issues.
It doesn't happen to everybody. I mean, we're both using the default setup. I don't think you've gone into the location services and turned stuff off, have you?
No,
because that was one thought: is if you turn off some of the location services, it's always hitting the GPS. Maybe that's what's draining the battery.
People said it's probably Find My Friends, but I use Find My Friends regularly, and people can track me that way.
Me too. I've been stalking you for every day for the last
2 weeks.
Yeah,
no, that's.
You have a very boring life.
I know. I'm at the wine bar, or I'm at home, or I'm here, or I'm driving to.
You've been going to the gym a lot lately, though. I got to say that's
all I do.
This is a new line, by the way. Not, oh, you look great. Have you been working out? Oh, I see on your Find My Friends you've been working out a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Well, you know what I do is I go to the gym and I take my iPad and I read stories that we talk about for TNT later in the day.
That's where I prepare. You notice that
because
you get
there's something,
a lot of emails from me that are a little jiggly. Like because I'm going like this.
That's what it is.
And the typing's not so good.
Well, I wonder. It's like I get a flood from you usually around 8:30 a.m. So now I can think about you on
the gym.
Treadmill.
I'm on the treadmill
at the same time.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Beautiful.
So yeah, so Apple at least is speaking up, saying we're promising a fix in a few weeks.
They admit it. They say it's a bug. There will be an iOS 5.1 or 5.01 that will fix it.
Exactly.
So look for that soon. And it's not just you.
You know, actually, Engadget says that iOS 5.0.1 beta just landed for developers.
Oh, there you go. So they're testing it already.
If that's the fix, then it can't be long now, as long as that works out. So that's good. Another thing that Apple is promising, and I keep waiting for it, is their updated retail store app. Now, you know that... Okay.
I didn't even know they had a retail store app.
Yes, you did. Here, I'll show you.
I seriously, I did not.
So this is the Apple Store retail app, which is actually it's technically an iPhone app. I'm just looking at it, you know.
Well, I want an iPad app for one thing.
Well, but it's a store, so I mean, what does it really matter? Here, I'll do this.
It really
so it's easier
matters.
To read. It doesn't matter that much.
It really matters.
Okay, it really matters. You're right, Leo.
It does.
It should be different.
So this is that same thing we were talking about with the television. It's got to be, you know, you've got to see good images, and that's silly.
Well, this is not that big a deal. So now everything says not able to reserve because they're making you wait till after 9 p.m. to reserve the iPhone 4S, for example. I mean, I could go into something that, well, you can't reserve.
It's so funny. I had no idea this existed.
You're crazy. You are crazy.
You never told me.
Yes, I do. We've talked about it on the show.
You never told me.
Maybe we haven't.
We haven't. This is
well, anyway.
I've been here for almost half the shows now. And I don't remember it.
Yeah, well, you've been here physically for many of the shows, but
I wasn't paying attention emotionally.
You're hit and miss. Yeah. Here's the deal. With the new retail store app, which is supposed to go live at some point today, and I thought it would happen by the time we were shooting the show, but it hasn't, is that they're going to get a big update so that when you go into an Apple retail store, you can pre-order and you can just walk right in. You can scan a code, and you can self-check out.
You don't have to talk to a human.
You don't have to do any of that.
So you just go to the counter, you take whatever's there, it's yours, and you walk out.
Well, because you prepaid. Yeah. So it's like the easiest thing in the world.
I love that.
I mean, obviously, they're still going to have people hand you things.
No, I just want to take whatever on the counter, that's mine, and I'll walk out.
Haven't you always thought that, I mean, the Apple stores are such a fun experience, and they're so devoid of, you know, clutter and everything, but those little... checkout machines that the employees hold are kind of clunky and weird.
Yeah,
I mean, it's better than having to wait in line for a cash register, but they still didn't seem very Apple.
For a long time, they weren't.
Because they were working on this.
They were Windows.
devices. Then they finally became iPhones or iPods or something.
Yeah. Well, they still. I guess now they can do it through.
You know what I do? I put on a FedEx uniform, and I just go to the store. I have a hand truck, and I just take whatever's there, and I put it on the hand truck, and I go. It works really well. You have to do it with confidence and authority.
Right. Yeah. I belong here.
I belong. I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to pick up.
Yeah. This is. We already did this. You know me. You know me.
If I did that, you could arrest me right now, and I would have to go. If you don't forget. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Just remember that, Sarah. I've been telling you that for years.
Well, I'm driving around barefoot, so apparently I'm breaking the law on a regular basis.
She is breaking the law.
I just don't understand.
Shocking.
Well,
do you use Square? I have the Square thing.
Square.
You plug it into the audio port on your iPhone or your iPad. It actually works on Android too. You swipe the credit card. It is beautiful.
And you and I could make a transaction, for example, or you could be a retail operation and you could use that as your cash register. Here's the great thing. Okay, so this is Square's new thing. Square has an app, which is what you were describing, that allows just a transaction to be made, whether you're a business or an individual.
Right.
They also have a separate app called Card Case. I don't know if we've talked about it on the show in the past
before. I don't know this.
Before.
What is this?
So Card Case.
Oh dear, it's got the stitching.
I know. Well, you don't like the stitching? It's supposed to look like a wallet.
Yeah.
No?
It's too much.
Okay, Leo doesn't like the stitching.
Too much.
Okay, so
skeuomorphic, that's the word they use.
Card Case has been around for a while. It works really well on the iPhone too. In fact, it makes more sense on the iPhone because it's more of like when you're out and about and you want to buy something somewhere. The deal is that let's go.
So this knows all your credit cards?
Well, you add credit cards so that when you were to go to an operation that has a deal with Square, so around here, let's go to
this
Bacon
is
Bacon.
Like their Groupon kind of a thing.
Well, no, it's not like that at all. The deal is that if I go to Bacon Bacon, which is
a food truck,
California
Street. Bacon food truck, only in San Francisco, friends.
I know, and it's called Bacon Bacon. I've actually heard of this before.
Specializes in bacon.
So here's some of their information: Twitter account, like where they're going to be during the day. But here's the deal: so I've got Card Case with me. I go to Bacon Bacon. iOS 5 knows that I'm in...
Wave your iPad at them?
No, it knows that I'm in the neighborhood because geofencing is enabled.
Right.
I walk up to the counter, I say what my name is, and they
say,
go,
"Oh yes, we were
Bacon
expecting
Bacon.
you. Here's your order."
Yeah, because I was already in the vicinity.
Wow.
I think it's like 100 feet or something.
Wow.
So you don't actually have
But you have to use Card Case for that to work.
Yes. Yeah. So it's something that you can have multiple credit cards associated with Card Case. And I'm not sure, you probably say, like, this is the default unless I specify otherwise. But the idea is that if I've got my iPad or my iPhone in my backpack, and I go to the ice cream shop down the street, which is a member of Card Case, I just walk up to the front.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's only in big metros where there are lots of hipsters and bacon trucks, because otherwise...
For the most part,
yeah.
I'm not sure.
I noticed there was nowhere around here. There was nowhere in Petaluma that I could do that.
Well, let's see.
Looked like Bacon Bacon was the closest.
Let's see, nearby. Yeah, was it really?
Yeah.
What about Pilates with Ann? It's 0.1 miles away.
Oh.
So
I can walk in and I can hop on the reformer and say, I've got my iPad.
How about Acre Coffee?
Acre. I love Acre. That's the new coffee bar. They're very hip. They have...
How about Riel Wines?
I don't know them, but that's neat.
Well, it's wine, so it can't be that bad.
You know what the big revelation of all this is?
What?
There's a food truck in San Francisco that serves bacon.
Oh, Leo.
I am
you gotta
blown away.
you gotta be more hip, man.
Do they give you anything with the bacon or just bacon?
I don't know. I don't eat bacon.
Oh, that's right. You don't know that.
I've heard of the food truck though, because people love bacon, and then they love bacon on bacon. It's really dumb.
It's a hipster meme.
It's it's a meme. The bacon meme. It's actually more annoying than the cupcake meme, in my opinion.
Well, because you can eat cupcakes.
Yeah, bacon is just...
You wouldn't like a bacon meme.
I don't like that.
So GarageBand is now on the iPhone.
That's right.
I don't know what you would do with it on an iPhone.
Well, Nilay Patel was talking about how great it was the other day. Like, GarageBand is just one of the best apps on the iPad, and it's so cool that it's on the iPhone now because all of those people who have iPhones that don't have iPads can now create music.
I guess, yeah, it's just a little music box in your pocket.
Yeah. GarageBand
cool.
is pretty robust if you want to take the time to figure it out.
And now this is a universal app, so if you've already got it on your iPad, which I'm sure everybody does because it's the iPad app.
It's pretty much the coolest.
Put it on your iPhone
it's only $5. Yeah. It's well worth it. I mean, if anybody
that looks pretty good, actually.
Doesn't have an iPad but does have an iPhone that watches our show, for example, definitely get that app.
Right.
And if you have great GarageBand themes that you've composed, you should send them in and we can listen to them because I get frustrated with music stuff. I'm just not good at it, so I don't bother trying.
You're going to love my app cap today.
Am I?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we've got an Ask Leo. This is not a question. I don't know the answer, but it's very annoying. Jim Kelly says, if I take pictures holding the camera sideways, using the volume up button as a shutter.
This is on an iPad?
On an iPhone or
it's got to be an iPhone 4S if it's the volume up shutter.
Okay.
Volume up button.
And I send it to a PC owner, so not a Mac owner. They're upside down.
Yes.
What is the problem with iOS? Because I searched online to find that it doesn't seem to be a new problem since iPhone 4 people have complained about it. Any suggestions?
So the way that the iPhone keeps track of orientation of photos on your iPhone is using the accelerometer. It knows which the orientation is. Many cameras do this. And the idea is that we'll communicate that rotation information to whatever program you're using, and it will rotate properly. Works fine with iPhoto. iPhoto sees it, says, oh, yeah, this should be this way, and you're done. In fact, if you're using PhotoStream on OS X Lion with iCloud, as I am here on my iPhoto, all the apps, however horizontal or vertically arranged, come out right. The problem is that this isn't using any standard, apparently, any standard method of orientation. See, this is horizontal, this is portrait mode, and they just come out right. And some programs don't read that information, that orientation information properly. So the way to fix that, unfortunately, is to flip the picture before you send it out. And you can do that in the iPhone. There's an edit button, and you just rotate the picture. You could do it on iPhoto. You could do it on the Windows. You have to do it manually before you send it out. As far as I can tell, that's the only solution to that.
Have you ever noticed, though, that it seems fine until the person on the other end gets the photo, and then it's like, why is this upside down?
Because everything you're using reads that data.
Yeah.
The PC people are using programs. I don't know if it's all programs on the PC or just certain programs that just don't see that. I don't know. You know what I have to do is some research as to how Apple, they're not storing it in the traditional way, apparently. There is a way to store that rotation information in the EXIF data, and I guess they're not paying attention. As usual, Apple does this. They say, oh, no, you know, we're not going to use the standard tags. We're going to use a special marker.
Ours are better.
Ours are better.
PC people, sorry about those upside-down pictures. But you guys know how to rotate them. We give you that functionality.
I've heard a lot of complaints about this. Even in the photo stream, sometimes it gets rotated.
Yeah, I've noticed that, too. Hey, so we're going to have a barbecue pretty soon.
I'm really excited. We're going to do this a week from Sunday.
Yeah, November 13th.
I hope you're going to come.
I am.
A lot of the staff is. So what we're doing, we're getting a big tent. We have a parade permit from the city of Petaluma, so we can take over some of the street. We're going to line up some great Ford vehicles, the 2012 Fiesta, the 2012 Focus. We won't have the electric Focus yet. They just announced it today, so we won't. I don't think we're going to get it yet.
I think it's like
39.
39.
It's a little pricey, but you know, electric vehicles are because they have all these batteries that end up being very expensive.
Well, you end up saving so much on the other side.
You get a $7,500 tax credit.
Oh.
So I think that makes it much more affordable. I can't. That's my new car. I can't wait. We know what we're going to do with the Mustang, though. We're going to make it the TWiT company car and the employee of the month.
We're going to have employees of the month?
But you can't drive it barefoot.
Oh.
The employee of the month.
That would be the best way to drive a Mustang.
Drive that car. And we'll just have a little kissing booth, and then I'll judge the employee of the month. It'll be great.
Okay.
So the way this is going to work is you go to twit.tv right now, and there's a link to the barbecue. They started spelling it properly now. Look at that. There's a link to the TWiT Barbecues page. We had BARBEQUES, and there was some debate, but I believe C is correct. Not Q.
I just said BBQ.
Yeah, that's another way to do it.
Make it a 3-character.
Anyway, go to the website, click the link. We only have room for a limited number of people, so please hurry. The 13th of this month and the 4th of next month, join the barbecue. You get to watch TWiT. You get to watch our new gaming show. Veronica Belmont, Brian Brushwood will be there. Now I know that Tom Merritt and Sarah Lane will be there. Yep. It's going to be a great time. I'm really looking forward to it. So please join us for this. And don't forget to take a look at Ford.com/technology to see all the amazing things Ford's doing. The latest consumer electronics technology. This new app link. So cool. You get in the car with your iPhone or your Android phone, BlackBerry phones even if you're using the latest BlackBerry OS, and the Ford Sync, where you press the button, you have your hands on the wheel, your eyes on the road, and you can press the button, and you could always do things like, say, play a song or call somebody or set the cabin temperature, where's a gas station, that kind of thing. Now you can do Pandora. You could say, play my classic rock station.
Love it.
Play Fiona Apple station. You could say, thumbs up. You don't like Fiona?
Eh.
Love her.
Kind of whiny.
Oh, I love whiny women. Thumbs up or thumbs down. You can bookmark a song for purchase later. They also have support for OpenBeak, which reads tweets. They have Stitcher for podcasts. I just love this. While you're there, take a look at all the other great technologies. Ford is just doing, I mean, they're knocking this out of the park. When you buy a Ford vehicle, you're buying the state-of-the-art and a great car to boot. And the fit, the finish, the reliability, there is second to none.
It's like as close as we've gotten yet to Knight Rider.
It is.
It's
I love it. It's Siri in your car.
Yeah.
I want you to try it today. Go to Ford.com/technology to learn more about it, or just go to a Ford dealer and pick yourself up that 2012 Fiesta. That's got the app link. The 2012 Focus, I'm sure, will when I get it. I'm so excited. Ford.com/technology.
Technology. So, have you heard about the most expensive iPad 2 in the world?
You mean more than $500?
Oh, yes, Leo. In fact, it's $8 million.
No, come on.
Seriously.
What is it, encrusted with
I said
jewels?
8,000 stupidly.
It's 8 million?
I kept thinking, don't say 8,000 because that's not that much compared to what
8,000 is a lot.
But it's $8 million. You know why? It's called the iPad 2 Gold History Edition. I've got pictures of it. And it was created by this designer named Stuart Hughes, and he encrusted it with 12.5 carats of flawless diamonds, with a rear section in 24-karat gold, weighing 2,000 grams, and the front frame was created using 75-million-year-old ammonite rock sourced from Canada, and the master stroke of this iPad was 65-million-year-old Tyrannosaurus Rex dinosaur's thigh bones, which was
that's such a lie.
Splintered and then shaved into the ammonite. It's the stupidest thing ever.
And did they actually make it, or is he just talking about it? If somebody gives me $8 million, I'll make it.
There's one.
Wow.
The problem is that you go like, okay, that's fine. Has anyone told Stuart that there's going to be an iPad 3 really soon? I mean, why is this?
Well,
why is this going to be?
Do you get an upgrade to the iPad 3?
Well, no. But my point is like this is fine, but
so
like, and then they changed the design slightly, and then
crazy.
It's so stupid.
Hey, thanks to the chat room who has passed along an article from the unofficial Apple weblog, TUAW.com, from last year. Apparently, the iPhone does store the rotation information in the EXEF where it should. It's not the iPhone's fault. It's other programs' fault. They aren't paying attention. So there's an article all about that. And, in fact, they wrote a command line program that will actually rotate the pictures based on the EXIF information. How about that? So thank you, chat room, for passing that along.
Yes.
It's not Apple's fault.
Okay. Fine.
By the way,
you win this one, Apple.
Do you see the Kardashian calculator?
Things longer than the marriage? Is that what it is?
I've been married 142 Kardashians.
Aw, that's sweet. Yeah. I think the whole thing is just awful.
Yeah, we shouldn't make, we shouldn't
like,
make hay based on.
I just don't, like, I don't get the phenomenon at all. Then again, I don't have E, so maybe I'm missing out on the greatest reality show of my generation.
This is what you get when you're a cable cutter. You miss out on these memes.
All the, the 4-hour televised. I don't need it. I didn't even watch the royal wedding. Okay, let's move on to some viewer feedback. Got an email from Nathan Walker. Actually, Farid Kayali. Sorry if I butchered your name, Farid. Also emailed us because last week we were talking about how it's hard to search the newsstand when you're in the App Store or when you just go through the newsstand itself. Nathan says, you're griping about not being able to search newsstand apps. It's possible. It's not that obvious, but it is possible. You search for when you just go into the App Store itself. You don't go to the newsstand.
Okay.
And then let's say you were going to search for, let's say you were looking for something that would be in the newsstand that's about science. Okay. So let's make it easy.
Yeah,
so you go science. All right.
Okay. Now how do I narrow it down?
Here's what you do. In the category section on the left, there's a category called
Newsstand. So now we've narrowed it down to just apps about.
And my search had no results? Really?
Apparently there are no science.
How's it possible?
I think newsstand is a huge mistake.
You do?
Yeah, I think it's a greedy grab.
Wait
Apple's trying to grab more revenue, and it's a mistake. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't see why you would want to have that special folder. I don't see why you would do this. It doesn't make any sense. The newsstand is a lie.
What? It's not a lie, but I'm not understanding why it's not searching.
Do the search first.
Oh, I see. Got it.
Yeah.
You guys are right.
Press the search button.
You got to search first.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it's like all the science stuff.
Now
you go. No, I just want something that I can read in magazine form.
There you go.
And now you have the things that would fit into newsstand. See, it's really not intuitive. And I even went through this earlier, and I still got it wrong just now. So thank you, Nathan, and thank you, Farid. We also got a video from Dave Packard, who had a newsstand suggestion.
Let's see.
Let's
roll that tape.
Roll it.
Will there be bacon?
Doing, Sarah? This is Dave Packard. Hey, love iPad. Watch it every week, sometimes live, sometimes recorded, sometimes both. Really surprised that you guys haven't talked about an app that actually is in the newsstand now called Once. I ran across this on a blog and have really enjoyed it. It's only got a couple of issues out so far, but because of Leo's interest in photography and whatnot, I'm surprised you haven't hit it yet. It has great pictures as well as good journalistic content as well. I also appreciate the interesting way that they are approaching paying for the photographers and journalists. They actually the editors of the magazine and the photographers and journalists split the income from each issue.
Neat, huh?
It is available on the newsstand. I think it's $1.99 a month.
I'm going to get it.
Subscribe monthly. And I think they're coming out with one a month. Anyway, looks really nice and thought you might be interested.
Thanks, Dave. So I downloaded Once, and Dave's right. It's awesome.
I'm going to get it.
It's the best ever. Okay, so this is actually, if you want to try it out and you're like, I don't know if it's right for me, they actually give you the pilot issue for free, and then the issues are $1.99 after that. But this is a really neat app. You know what it is? It reminds me a lot of Pictory. You know, Pictory is sort of that photojournalism site where people can submit photos and then they tell stories, that sort of thing. This is more, there's more stories involved, but you've got, this is a story about some of the post-Soviet era the Eastern Bloc countries. So, and there's a lot of poverty, and you know it's very complicated. So here's kind of like this neat timeline that tells how things got to be the way that they did for a variety of reasons. You go, you know, you're reading the stories, you're continuing to. They're kind of like little footnotes type of a thing, and then, and then you get into okay, so you know this for reference is the area that we're talking about, okay, and then you get into some pictures here. You've got some audio from somebody who was in the area who was talking to the reporter. It's here's there's some sort of a party that's going on in Georgia. Anyway, this is one of these magazines that they're very visually rich, very National Geographic kind of stuff, and I really like it. I really like it a lot. It's definitely worth a couple dollars a month if you're interested in obviously interesting stories, but very very heavy on the visual element. I love this kind of stuff. I always learn a lot from this kind of thing, and I always end up wanting to go to these countries. You know, even if they don't look that great.
You are
it's
such
like,
a inveterate
I want to meet
traveler.
her. I want to.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe she would.
I want to cook peppers with her.
Maybe she would cook peppers with you.
I would like
that. What is that she's pulling out of there?
It's peppers.
Okay.
She's making a spicy paste from dried chilies, is what it says. Wow. Anyway, so that's Once.
You love to travel.
I love it.
I like that about you. I like to travel too.
Yeah, traveling's awesome. That's how cool things happen. Reminder, before we get to our app cap section of the show, that we want to hear from you. 757-504-IPAD is our Google Voice number. You can always write iPad Today at twit.tv, or for extra points, Dave Packard gets the extra points in this show. Send us a video with an idea, a question, a comment, anything. And try to keep it to 30 seconds or less. That's helpful for us. Thank you in advance.
Are you an Oink member?
Yes, I am.
You and Kevin Rose are friends.
Yes.
You'll be glad to know Oink is now on the App Store.
All right. Good call. He was on the social hour on Monday.
I'm not an Oink member, so I can't use it. And in fact, if you're not, you can download the app, but you won't be able to use it until you get the invite.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
it's in closed beta, but the app is live.
The app is live. So if you go to oink.com, and that, by the way, it's hard to find Oink on the App Store because there's other programs named Oink. Go to oink.com and then click the link that'll take you to the App Store where you can download Oink.
And the idea, this is Kevin's new company, it's very exciting. You, instead of rating places as you would on Foursquare or Yelp, you rate the things inside. So here's the Sam of our tea lounge, and here's some of the 46 items people love.
Right.
So I downloaded it. I'm very excited to, and it's an iPhone, not an iPad app.
Ha ha. You just ask him.
If only I knew somebody.
Oh, please, just ask him. He'd be
Only I knew
delighted to
somebody
have
who
you
would-
be using Oink.
Kevin's going to be on TWiT this week. Maybe he'll help me out.
Well, there you go. See, he's making the rounds on the TWiT network, certainly.
We love Kevin. He's an old friend. And can you invite
And
me?
foe.
Maybe?
No, I'm just kidding.
Can you invite me?
I don't know.
It's very sad.
I'll try.
Top items nearby. Let's see. Wait a minute. Salad. Do you think my salad is near here?
Well, you haven't been part of Oink, so these are all other things that other people have oinked near you, and it's not very near you, actually.
No.
Well, you haven't geolocated yourself, I guess.
So this is people rating.
Wait a second. You've got the app running. What's
Yeah,
wrong
but I
with-
can't. Well, that's strange, isn't it? It does look like it's running now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
At the top, click mile instead of global. You were global. Go to popular again.
Yeah.
Click anything.
Click anything. Oh, I should do 1 mile.
There you go.
Well, I need to.
There aren't any items, it said.
Yeah, well, that's all right. Look, I'm here. TWiT Brick House. Now I can find things in good inside here.
You would add an item. I tried to do it the other day, and they were
Oh,
down
see, it
for
won't
whatever
let me do
reason.
it. Yeah, it won't let me do it. Anyway, the app is out.
Good.
Yeah.
Oink is fun. And
So
it's
you've
not
been
just
playing
about
with it?
food. Yeah, I've been playing with it for a while. They've gone through a few iterations. It's great. I mean, they're going to build a big database.
I guess I'm in it now. So I'll follow
You weirdo.
Well, no, I tried it, and now, so it just, maybe Kevin was watching.
Yes. You've been
I bet
granted
you that's what
permission.
happened. Somebody was watching and said, oh, quick, turn him on. So I'm going to follow all the oinkers.
Follow us.
You're not in here.
Well,
You're not a featured oinker.
I think I am somewhere.
Maybe you'll show up.
I'm down there
Look
somewhere.
at everybody I know is in here.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. I'm the
Isn't that
last
fun?
guy to join this. Veronica, host of our new show, Game On.
Mm-hmm.
Loic, Scoble, Sarah Lane. You and Scoble are everywhere.
Well, that's what we do. We're never in the same place at the same time, though. Have you noticed?
Yeah, I think
So there's
you
that.
could be Scoble.
Well,
Or
yes.
you're avoiding him.
No, I see them everywhere, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we ready for app caps? We want to thank Netflix really quick.
We're going to do Netflix. Put on your app cap, girl, and don't forget, in a few minutes, we will go inside Al Capone's vault with some
Okay.
amazing results. Before we do that, though, a reminder, the best way to... We were talking about how TV is being reinvented. The best way to get entertainment on your iPad is Netflix. Netflix.com/twit. You could try it free for 30 days. I know you already know Netflix, and probably most of you are already members, but if you're not, you got to do this right away. Netflix.com/twit. Once you've got your account set up, the variety of quality of Netflix content you can watch on your computer, your television set, Blu-ray player. I use a Roku box, but it is something you if you are a iPad owner, you must do. I just started Friday Night Lights. You know, I never watched that when the show was out. What a great,
I never did either.
Oh,
should-
great show!
I should do it.
86 episodes are on here. So you've got lots of watching to do. That's what happens, I think, nowadays. If you're a cord cutter, you just get used to the idea that you won't see a show when it's on TV. You'll see it a year later, and
Yeah.
you get to watch it without ads,
Yeah.
all at once.
Without
on Netflix.
showering.
Without showering,
Yeah,
exactly.
just back to back. Stop caring about anything else.
Do you ever do that, really?
Well, yes.
Netflix.com/twit. Give it a try today. Look, The Office, Damages, Mad Men, the Charlie Sheen roast. I missed that. I don't know how I missed that.
I don't think I'm
going to
watch that.
Yeah, Masterpiece Theater. You know, there's some great Masterpiece Theaters on here. Oh, gosh, it's wonderful.
Well, we could do this all day.
Did you
but
watch Downton Abbey?
I'm excited about my app cap.
All
No,
right.
I haven't watched it
Gotta
yet.
see Downton Abbey.
I know.
It's
That's
so
what Mom
good.
says, too.
So good.
It's such a parent thing to say. Have you seen Downton Abbey yet?
It is.
It's so good.
We old farts like it.
No, I think I would like
God,
to.
you look cute.
Thank you.
You should be
did
Russian.
you notice?
You should be a Russian girl.
If only. I don't think
Yeah.
I have any Russian blood, but I'm Russian at heart.
You look good in the Russian hat.
Thank you.
I look good in Canadian. Same hat from...
Very
See,
nice.
I think this kind of says it all.
It sure does.
It-
What is there to say?
The style
Really?
that a country reflects in bitterly freezing cold weather says it all. This is Canadian. That's Russian.
Ruski.
Same hat. Same flaps. Completely different
Different
look. Doesn't she look,
attitude.
I mean, like, gorgeous?
Oh, come, Leo, stop. How much money do you need?
I know. You don't have to pay me to say that. I'll say it
Aelios.
for free.
Aelios weather. Remember we talked about it back?
Yes. I
gosh.
told you about it. I love it.
Yeah, you did, actually. They have an updated app, which is I won't go through everything because a lot of the changes are somewhat subtle, but this is pretty much the most visual weather app you'll ever get.
So
this
gorgeous.
is where, well, I'm looking at San Francisco right now, but I could of course geolocate it to Petaluma where we are now, and it's telling me what's going to happen in the next 24 hours. You can also switch to the next 7 days, so I can see, oh, okay, it looks like in a couple days, you know, right around Sunday, it's going to stop, sort of this like weird rain type of thing. Here's what's cool about Aelios, though, and I thought was worth mentioning. And by the way, this is not just San Francisco. You can actually, I mean, it's an absolute map of the world. You can see weather for anywhere in the world. And it'll actually kind of like, it'll stick to the most major metropolitan area in a certain area that you hover over, unless you want something a little bit more specific. It's great. It's so fun. But what they have now is they've partnered up with AccuWeather. So you say, okay, well, this is what's happening in Grand Bank, Canada. Says who? Well, it depends on if you're using, I'll show you, gives you the option of using AccuWeather or the Norwegian
That's actually very good. They have a lot of weather in Norway, so they need a
exactly.
very good.
And I checked it out between the two of them. I mean, they did not give me wildly different results by any means.
Weather's weather.
But they were, for, you know, some people may have a preference. I know a lot of people are, AccuWeather is used by so many other apps, so if you kind of are a fan of them, then you can use Aelios and know that you can have the option to use AccuWeather. And it's neat because if you just want to go like, okay, well, that's what the Norwegian people say, what do the AccuWeather people say? And you can just swipe.
But you don't get this really for the weather. There's easier, simpler ways to get the weather. You get it because how it's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's really not. I mean, look at this thing. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I love it. It's really cool. Anyway, that's my app cap. It's $4.99, so it's not free. It's $5, but it's the cool weather app. And they just redid it. It's what they kind of call Aelios 2. And they were nice enough to ping me about it, and I love this app. So thanks, guys. Doing good.
Is your head hot? Mine is just
I'm okay.
I'm sweating bullets.
Well, this is actually sitting on top of me.
Yeah, no, this is
so hot. I think I'm like some air is coming out.
So very quickly, because we've got the celebrity safe. My pick, Animoog. This was something that was picked on MacBreak Weekly. I am not a synthesizer wizard, but if you have always wanted a Moog synthesizer, for the next 2 weeks, it's only 99 cents. It will be $20.
Holy crap.
So now's the time just to play with this and buy it. I don't know. Do you have the audio?
Yeah, I hear it. You don't know what you're doing. This is awesome.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
This is like when I try to review music apps, and I'm like, let's play the...
You have all these settings that do things. Frequency, resolution, drive, envelope. You can change, look at all these things. Delay, thickness, orbit, path, filler. I don't know what any of this crap does. You have the keyboard scale. You have your envelope here that you can modify your timbres.
I assume you can record something.
You have complete recording capability.
Right.
I have never, I'm not an artist. I'm not a musician. I just think this is really cool. And I think if you do...
it's kind of like, I mean...
Look, a Moog synthesizer in years past was thousands of dollars. You can have your own Moog synthesizer for 99 cents.
Someone could like eat special brownies and just play around with this for many hours.
Isn't that beautiful, Sam?
Yeah.
There are videos on YouTube and other places for how to use this. Just search for Animoog. But my main point, the main reason I want to pick
$1.
It's $1 now. It will be more.
Get it now. Learn later. That's kind of like the way that we do everything on this show. Just get it, and then we'll learn later, maybe. Well, this is very nice, Leo. Thank you so much. I'm lulled to slumber by the beautiful sounds of your Animoog.
Oh, look at that. I multi-touched my way to Netflix.
That was weird. Hey, so we're almost done with the show, so let's open up this stupid safe.
All right, I'm going to take this stupid hot hat off.
All right, take the stupid hot hat off.
Bring in the safe.
Bring in the safe.
So we have it on, this came from a company called Securely. Thank goodness you're wearing a helmet there. Oh, my God, this thing is heavy.
It's so heavy. So, all right.
So, you know that sometimes companies do a lot to promote apps. This is apparently a new iOS app. Unfortunately, I wish it's only for iPhone. They are going to do a Mac and iPad version. It's to store your passwords in, right? So I love this. It says apps you love from people you trust. Leo Laporte podcasting.
That's why you love it, because they called you a legend.
Well, no, I love it because I got a free safe out of it. I don't know, but I hope that inside this secret envelope
is
will
money.
be the code to open the safe.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, you ready? Okay,
yes.
you ready? It says vault code.
Vault code
7328 asterisk. Prepare to be amazed. If Al Capone is in here, 73. We're doing this live. Never before opened.
I'm scared.
And then.
Please don't be Al Capone. Please be money.
Oh, Pandora. Look at a Pandora, Netflix.
What are they?
Spotify, coasters. Those are very
Okay,
handy.
that's
All
fine.
my favorite apps here. And look, Twitter, Instagram. Wait a minute, there's a ton of these. Holy cow! This is a good idea. All right, and inside here, there's probably the software, right? So look at that. We've got now coasters from every major.
Wow, they've really covered them all, haven't they?
You could do an iPhone. Look, World of Warcraft. I guess this will be the software inside this manila envelope. Oh, and there's a key. That's good, just in case I couldn't open the vault.
No, that's actually a really cool vault.
It's kind of a clever way to promote an app. And then in here it says, Dapper Gentlemen, that's the name of the company, handsome developers. Some password apps lose your data, ours doesn't. Ours loves it and tucks right into the fluffy folds of iCloud. It's
neat.
an iCloud-based, that's cool.
That is cool.
iCloud-based password. You know what, I'll tell you what, I'll do a review of it. And we'll talk about it if it's any good on a future show. But I have to say right away, the first thing that crossed my mind is to use this, make it worthwhile. They got to have an iPad. I guess I could always use the iPhone version on the iPad, but they also have to have a Mac version because then all my passwords would be in one spot.
Right. Well,
Securely.
if it's iCloud though, if you're yeah, I don't really know how that works.
I don't know either, but I'll try it.
Let's find out.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Securely.
I'm just glad Al Capone wasn't in there.
Me too. Oh, I was so worried. I didn't really actually want money. We wouldn't have been able to take it anyway. But now we have a lot of coasters.
That's the best junk mail I ever got.
It's very dramatic. You got down on your hands
I came
and
into
knees
the
and
office and
everything.
there was a safe.
You don't get that on every show. I'll tell you what. All right, Leo.
Here, have an Instagram coaster.
Thank you. That's what I wanted, actually. That was
It's all
exactly
yours.
what I wanted. Ooh, this is actually very nice.
No, it's nice. They're real
really
coasters.
nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Woo, Insta.
Pretty nice.
Insta. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for watching the show. We will see you here, right here, same time, same place next week.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.